And don't get beside yourself on social media and start responding to the foolishness because they're right. They're right.
I get the sense and vibe, and this is just me, I could be wrong, that these players are more infatuated with being famous. They're more in love with the Instagram likes and Twitter likes and everything that comes with being a Colorado Buffalo. Well, I guess it's safe to say old Coach Primetime is done playing around. The greatest comparison I can give all you with this Colorado football team in the state we're currently at is the honeymoon phase. It's over. It is the perfect analogy for this situation. You know how it is when you start dating that new girl and y'all love everything about one another in the first month or two. It's awesome. It's fantastic. I'm telling you, man, ain't nothing better than those first couple months when you're dating that new chick. Butterflies in your stomach. You're excited to see her when you get off work. All that nice stuff. You know how it goes. But then out of nowhere, it's like a storm starts rolling in by month 4 or 5. And to be honest, I don't know why I said it's a storm. It's just reality sets in that y'all ain't perfect and you got some things you don't like about one another. And you start, I ain't going to say fighting, but you start having some disagreements. But my point is with all this, when the honeymoon phase, it slowly starts to die off. That excitement you once had when you first went to pick her up on that date and the first couple weeks seeing her, it just goes away. Once all that excitement and hype, it starts to die down, you get hit with a dose of reality. And ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, that is exactly what's happening for Coach Primetime and this Colorado football team. And Deion's worried. He's made this clear. He's made it astronomically clear. And a lot of people don't know this. They think he just got worried after the Stanford game. No. He stayed at the Arizona State game. They look like crap and there's a lot of stuff they got to work on. You can say a lot of things about Deion Sanders, but he ain't dumb. He knows this ship is going down. And when I say this ship, let me clarify on this. I'm talking about this season. This season is like a sinking ship. It's got holes all in it. It is just a matter of time before this baby goes underwater. Because guess what, Colorado fans? Your next 5 games, you're not favored in any of them. You'd be extremely fortunate, best case scenario, to go 2-3. Realistically speaking, you go 1-4, maybe 0-5. Now, with that being said, there is a video about Deion Sanders addressing his team that I haven't seen. You're going to get my live reaction. I've been meaning to get to this and make this video. I do apologize, but there's been so many other videos we've been making on the channel, and I know you guys are going to understand, or I hope you understand. As always, and per usual, you know who runs this channel. You already know about this channel. This video comes from Well Off Media. I don't even think I got to sit up here and say go subscribe to Well Off Media, but if you haven't already, go check them out for more Colorado content. Bucky, the owner of the channel, does a great job over there. Can't say enough great things about him. It's awesome to see him documenting the entire process of the Colorado come up, I guess you shall say. And yeah, let's take a look at what Deion Sanders had to say.
Guys, as a coach and a praying coach, you can feel your team. You can feel what they're going through. You can feel where they are. You can feel your coaching staff. You can feel what's transpiring within us. And this is something I felt. That's why we put all the 17 or 15 things up there that we need to do to win this game. You went out there, you started off just like we desired you to start. But then you got beside yourself. You start feeling yourself. You start thinking that you're better than you are. That's why we said the things we said at halftime. Now we find ourselves in a situation that we couldn't fathom. We find ourselves in a situation that you would never guess. What was the score at halftime? 29-0.
It's still hard for me to believe they blew a 29-0 lead. The way that Stanford looked like a JV football team in the first half. And tell it 2 halves, man. Tell it 2 halves.
And we gave up, I believe, 20 or whatever, 18 unanswered points with no response to it. You got to really make up your mind now, and that was the key word of the day. Make up your mind now. Do you really want to play this game? Like, do you really want this game to support you, to provide for you, to be your rest haven, to do the things that you want this game to do for you so you can have some of the things that you desire to have? Because right now, what I see is a bunch of guys who are in like with the game. You're not in love with the game. Because when you're in love with something, you give it everything you got.
Last pause. That is a great point. Because in high school, and I get it, it's different. Because in high school, a lot of people are just playing sports to play sports. But you could easily tell the difference from somebody who just liked playing football or basketball or whether somebody loved playing football or basketball or baseball, whatever sport you played. It was clear, it was evident, and as a person who wanted to dominate you in every single thing, I didn't care if we were flipping quarters, I didn't care if we're playing ping pong, I didn't care what I was doing. I still, to this day, I don't care if we're eating a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. I want to dominate you. With that being said, yeah, it was frustrating having teammates that just liked the game. And I'll be honest with you, I thought less of them, not as a person, but as a teammate. I didn't hold those guys to the same standard as I would for my teammates that really wanted to be there. Because guess what? There's only so much you can do for people in this life. At the end of the day, they gotta want it. And I'll tell you this much, for a high school football team, and I'm sure some of you can relate, how many players is there depending on your school? Let's just say there's 60 players on a high school football team. Well, out of those 60 players, I'd be willing to bet you only about 15 of those guys actually love the game. The rest of them just like the game. And let me emphasize this. There is nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong whatsoever. A lot of people out here, they just like doing things. They want to be mediocre. They want to be average, and that's fine. It's taken me a long time to understand a lot of people aren't wired the way that I'm wired, and they don't think the way I think. I always thought it was embarrassing to strive to be average or just be okay with being average. I thought there was genuinely something wrong with you if you was okay with being average. I did. But come to find out, as I've slightly matured a little bit and gotten older and gained some more knowledge, not a lot of knowledge, I got a lot to learn, but a little bit more knowledge, that's normal. It's normal to be average. That's why we call it average. It's normal. But as a person who wants to be the best in every aspect of life, playing with guys who just like the game, not fun. Not fun at all. Sorry for that rant and tangent. That's just a point I wanted to touch on. Let's continue on here.
You really got to search your heart. This is coaches included. Search your heart and find out, do you love this or do you like this? Because right now you're in like with this. And the problem I have is I'm in love with this. And I can't put up with the like. I walk and I look at you on the sideline and I'm sitting up there thinking, you have so much more inside of you that you give. Then you get it. You're not giving everything you got. You're counting on somebody else to do the job. You count on somebody else to be there. You count on somebody else to get it done. You count on somebody else to make it happen for you. And life don't work like that. Sooner or later, you're gonna have your own responsibilities. You're not gonna be on scholarship. You're not gonna be taken care of. You're not gonna be looked after. You're not gonna have the luxuries of all this. And you're gonna have to go out there and get it on your own and work your butt off. Because ain't nobody gonna give you nothing. I don't understand. I don't think you understand what this world consists of. What we just did today was pathetic. All the love that you received, all the love we received, oh, you getting ready to see that flip. And don't get beside yourself on social media and start responding to the foolishness because they're right. They're right. And we practicing tomorrow. God bless.
Whoa, man. I can't imagine how bad that practice was. You know, if you know, you know. You got a terrible loss, and the coach, the last thing he says in a meeting is, oh, yeah, by the way, we're practicing tomorrow. You know it's going to be rough. I've actually played for some coaches in baseball where we practice after the game. You know if you got to practice after the game, you're in for some, let's just say, it's not going to be fun. But on a serious note here, great message from Coach Prime, per usual, and he's 100% right. I just love how he says, too, oh, yeah, there's going to be a lot of people writing a lot of crazy stuff about you on social media, and guess what? They're right, because they are right. I'll give you my 2 cents on this subject and matter. This is how I view this current Colorado team. These players, not all of them, but I'd say 75% of them, they just enjoy being part of this reality TV show. Because that's what it is, let's just be honest. It is a great reality TV show, and it's nonstop entertainment, and I love it. But at the end of the day, that's not exactly what you want out of a college football team. Your main goal and purpose shouldn't be to entertain people, it should be to win football games. I get the sense and vibe, and this is just me, I could be wrong, that these players are more infatuated with being famous. They're more in love with the Instagram likes and Twitter likes and everything that comes with being a Colorado Buffalo. They want the rewards and they want to reap the benefits of playing for a Coach Prime-led team, but they don't actually want to be a dominating football player. And what has happened is everybody's praised these guys for upsetting TCU, beating Nebraska, beating Colorado State, and winning 3-4 games, and they forgot, oh wait, we ain't that good. Because let's just be honest, Colorado is extremely fortunate to be sitting where they're at. I mean, it could be way worse. They're a couple plays away from losing to Colorado State and TCU. However, they win those games, and these players' egos, they got inflated. And that's all it is. To blow a 29-0 lead to Stanford, who's one of the worst teams in college football, that's all it is, guys. I can understand blowing a 29-0 lead if you're an NFL team, because that other team's got professional athletes. I could understand Michigan blowing a 29-0 lead to Ohio State because Ohio State has 4- and 5-star recruits. But the truth of the matter is, Stanford didn't even have a good football team. The only reason Stanford came back is because you gave them hope and you let up. Coach Prime hit the nail on the head. These guys don't love football. They like football. Hopefully this is just a learning lesson, and remember, in life, it's not about what happens to you, it's how you respond to it. I'm really curious to see how this team responds to it. Really curious. I guess we'll have to wait and see, though. They don't play this week. They play next weekend. Well, let me know your thoughts down below. But, Robin!